Fans taking after his name. He has got himself quite hot this afternoon. You can see he's quite sweaty. He's nice and relaxed though now he's coming to the main parade ring. Every now and again though he threatens to have a little buck. I think the horse behind have to make sure he don't get too close. Number 10 is next. This is Warney making his debut today, and he's been an ultra professional. I watched him all the way up in the prelims. He's got a red hood on, nice and calm. We'll pick up number 6 next. I absolutely love this horse, McNuke. He's gorgeous, really relaxed. AD, if we pick up number 6 next, McNuke. Isn't he lovely and relaxed lad as he walks round? But his stablemate is the one I really want to see. If we can just turn to our left, AD, and have a look at number 3. This is Golden Mine. So he's half brother to a Commonwealth Cup winner, Perfect Power. And interesting, Richard was showing me a photo of him lied down, flat out asleep, literally only minutes before being saddled up. Ultra professional. Horses, they actually can sleep standing up. They have a locking mechanism where they can lock their ligaments and muscles and tendons. So say the stifle and the hock, that locks them in place. They can sleep standing up. They only ever really sleep down when they feel really, really safe when they're at the races. I really like that. He's got a lovely laid-back nature and he looks an absolute picture. So that's Golden Mine. So we'll pick up a couple more. AD, if we can pick up number 2 next, this Dallas Star. He's an absolute monster. He really is. I was talking about some of the conformations of some of the horses. He's a big lad, and you expect him to have a bigger stride, but he's got a very short shoulder. It goes quite diagonally down, which affects the way he walks, so he walks quite short. And he's got himself a little bit warm. Having a look up at the big screen, you can see him with his ears pricked, having a good look. He looks like he's going to have a little spook. Let's see if we can whiz through a couple more. Well, we've got Aidan O'Brien's lot next. This is Pearls and Rubies. She's from a good family. Hard to believe that she actually won over 5 furlongs, because there's lots of stamina in her pedigree. She's quite a long, not typical sprinter at all. Looks like she probably would even get a little bit further on her physiques. 12 is next. Looking forward to seeing her. Mecca's Angel is her dam. I've got lots of pictures of Mecca's Angel all over my wall. My husband won 2 Nunthorpes on her over 5 furlongs, so lovely to see her. She's actually got a face just like her mother, really nice, sweet and kind. Let's see who's next. This is number 1 next. This is Count Palatine. Just got himself a bit warm. You can see on his tiptoes, just having a little jig jog, just showing his impatience and just wants to get on with things, really.
Well, Michael Tabor, of course, has links to both Pearls and Rubies and Content.
Yes.
Michael, interesting favourite, stepping up considerably in trip. Content yet to win, but clearly is going to be a strong stare. Which of them would Tabor put his cash on?
Both of them.
Genuinely?
Well, I think they've both got good chances. Pearls and Rubies, whatever it's called, ran at 5 furlongs and stayed on well. Aidan fancies her quite a bit. So you pay your money, you take your chance. But I think they've both run very well.
Can I just ask you, because obviously you've been in the game in the bookmaking world and of course as a huge part of Coolmore and Ballydor. Frankie Dettori's last Royal Ascot, he's won massive races for you as a team, classics for you. If you were summing him up as a rider and a personality, what do you make of the Italian?
Well, you don't need me to tell you about his personality, because he oozes it, doesn't he? And he's great for this game. That's pretty obvious. He's larger than life. As a jockey, listen, he's just fantastic. His record speaks for itself.
Good luck here.
Thank you.
Last chance if you want to play on the ITV7 today. Still time to get your entry in, free to play. We're up to 2
furlongs, and more than anything, it was probably an educational run. And we know Aidan's 2-year-olds can step forward an awful lot from their debut, and the fact that she is well supported is a positive sign. You'd be not quite so confident if it was maybe coming from a different yard.
And this is a race that leans more towards the 2-year-olds with stamina, because the runners all have to have a sire or a dam who won a race over 1.25 miles or more. It's a tricky one to pick apart. Mick, what do you make of it?
It's really interesting. The one thing I will say is Dallas Star, just on the far side with Ron Scott in the saddle, just got very warm. It is really muggy down here at the start, so I'm almost expecting these horses to be a little bit warm.
Yes.
down here in the betting ring, I can tell you that there's a lot of confidence behind this Pearls and Rubies. The best price I saw was 9-4, 2-1. Now generally 7-4. Content did touch 6-1, back into 5-1. LaGuardia 15-2, and Lightning Leo 17-2. But Pearls and Rubies, confidence growing that this is a real smart filly, 7-4.
And Francesca, surely there should be confidence behind horse number 5 in the Al Shakab colours. Lightning Leo, who Adele loved in the paddock, and Holly Doyle and Archie Watson are a combination to follow this week with the 2-year-olds, aren't they?
Yes, very much so. Lightning Leo himself has only run once, and he won by a nose. That was at Yarmouth over 7 furlongs, so we know the trip's okay. And the Al Shakab colours that we see Holly wearing there, they've only just bought in recently. They bought 50% of the horse, so that's a further boost. But I don't know, I think there's plenty that you can give chances to in here. I think Matnook is interesting. 4th at Windsor, was 3rd at Windsor over 6 furlongs, was slow away but absolutely motored home. Is that one at a price?
Matnook?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's the pick for me. Watched it back on a few occasions, and you know when the jockey looks up and the race is over, he cannot win from where he is over the 6 furlongs, and he sort of got a flap of the shoulders and a nudge forward. All of a sudden he just took off, finished on the bridle in behind, a couple of lengths in behind the first and the second. So for all the world, he's going to be much better over this trip. He's the each way shout for me.
And the nice ones in the paddock, I thought Golden Mind, and number 3 was gorgeous. LaGuardia even as well, that Kevin rides.
Yeah, she was impressive at Goodwood when she won on her second start, but totally different, isn't it? A very quick 6 furlongs at Goodwood compared to this stiff 7. Bred to stay like they all are, and she was really strong at the line, so let's hope she can run well.
She's a big, strong girl. Mick, what's happening?
Yeah, just Pearls and Rubies, Francesca. She was very on it when she came down here first, but she's settled down since she's been down at the start, and she looks an awful lot more relaxed now than she did when she arrived.
That's a good sign. Mrs. John Magna bought into the ownership of this one just recently, previously owned and still part owned by Mrs. Richard Henry.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention another each-way horse that actually ran at Windsor as well on debut, Count Palatine, who really caught the eye, and the race has worked out so well. 2 winners already. The horse that finished 2nd came and finished 3rd in the Windsor Castle here this week, so that's quite good form. He's about 28-1.
And is it your £20 challenge from the Evening Show?
It's my £20 challenge, yeah. I hope that's not a jinx.
How's it gone so far this week?
Well, a couple of places.
I hope you're doing better than the boys.
Well, I think we're probably about even.
Okay. Hasn't been an easy week on the punting front. We had a 150-1 2-year-old winner earlier on in the week as well.
Last chance for the ITV7. Last chance to try and win £250,000 on the ITV7. Much bigger crowd today. 68,500 people in at ASCOT.
Well, it is Saturday, isn't it? So it does help. It's not a work day, so that's really helped to pack out the crowds today, and they would have been thrilled to see King Charles and Queen Camilla here on the final day of the meeting as the staying type 2-year-olds head forward, and they're nearly loaded, and Richard Hoyles will call home the runners in the Chesham.
Thank you, Francesca. Yeah, last couple to head forward are Matnook and Carolina Reaper. Both of whom showed promise on their debuts. Both have showed lots of inexperience as well, and that's the key for these races. Who will step forward from either a comfortable victory or an eye-catching 3rd or 4th to land the Chesham? Last year it went to the debutante in Holloway Boy, and Warney would be a well-named debutante to impress on debut. So the Chesham Stakes, a listed contest, 7 furlongs, gets us underway. The final day of Royal Ascot, and they're off and racing. Pretty good line, a little bit slow away was Matnook. Carolina Reaper has jumped well, and up the centre of the racecourse leads with Snellen. Over on the far side, showing a pace at this stage, is Dallas Star, and he's racing slightly away from the others. Now Monty comes to join them, just racing behind the leaders in company as well with the white face of Lightning Leo. Pearls and Rubies just in that second wave in company with Warney. Sadati is also in that group. Golden Mind's closest to us. Then we have Content, who races on the inside of Count Palatine, who was keen on the way down to the start. Warney the debutants holding the position okay. La Garida is towards the back early on in company with Matt Nuke, and they're already racing on towards halfway. Carolina Reaper leads the group on the near side. Far side, it is still Dallas Star who shows the lead. They're being trapped by Pearls and Rubies over on that far side with Namonti and May May. Coming down the centre, Lightning Leo breaks cover. That's the horse with the big white face and socks. Then Sayadati Sadati as they make their way still with 2.5 furlongs to go. Out in the lead is Dallas Star with Lightning Leo. Pearls and Rubies exploring a gap as Carolina Reaper tries to pick up as well. All of a sudden there's a lot of chances here with Content making ground. Also ground is Snellen as they make their way with 1.5 furlongs to go. Pearls and Rubies in the centre. Moves through now with Snellen. Between the pair, still sticking on is Carolina Reaper. It is Snellen who leads the Chesham inside the last. Pearls and Rubies with Golden Mind trying hard to stay on. Snellen under the near side. Pearls and Ruby out in the centre with Odyssey coming well. Snellen maybe narrowly in front. They hit the line close. That is tight. Snellen near side. Pearls and Rubies the far side. Golden Mind, Odyssey and Hot Fuss who made ground late over on the far side from Dallas Star. They are wide apart. First impressions was that Snellen had just held on, but it is close. Snellen, head down, has just won the Chesham by about a head or so. Pearls and Ruby's rider looks across Ryan Moore, but he will see that Gary Carroll and Snellen are just in front, I think, with Golden Mind on the near side, probably getting third as well. Odyssey and Hot Fuss also ran really well in fourth and fifth. A pair of Irish fillies fought out the finish, but Pearls and Rubies just came up short as Snellen made it 2 out of 2. Still officially a photo.
And a Snellen is an eye test for acuity. I thought initially the photograph might need a close eye, but it was 1 to 20 initially, Snellen, and then went no offers quickly. It looked like she's definitely got there in the colours of Lindsay LaRoche for Gavin Cromwell, who's had winners at the Cheltenham Festival, and Gary Carroll riding well in front here.
Yeah, she quickened up really nicely, and obviously that stand side has just about managed to be the place with the Golden Highway.
She has won. She has won. 17 has won. Snellen.
I think Pearls and Ruby was staying on again towards the end. Snellen didn't look like she was pulling up. She was pretty honest, but the runner-up found another gear late on, and she's going to stay further.
Absolutely, and if you think she managed to win over 7 furlongs on debut, Ryan goes and commits about 1.5 furlongs down, and I bet the punters were thinking, we've collected again another one for the O'Brien team, but not to be. It's the other Irish raider at a massive price coming in through off the back of that Limerick success.
Yeah, it was relatively close, or very close in the end, wasn't it? But Snellen, probably a little bit forgotten in the market. The punters were cheering for sure for the favourite Pearls and Rubies. This is well named actually, Expert Eye, and the Snellen is the chart. You know, when you go to the to have your eye test, you have to read the letters, and they start big and get smaller and smaller and smaller. That's a Snellen apparently. I never knew that.
Yeah, this jockey cam's on Golden Mind, who's closing, but can't get there on the near side. And there is the evidence. Snellen beating the hot favourite. Punters, as you say, Jason, denied once again. It's the blue colours who have won. And won quite cosily in the end, Jason, further than I thought, actually.
Yeah, absolutely, and well done. Big success as well for Gary Carroll. He's a regular around the 30, 40, 50 winner mark over in Ireland. Super consistent. Got to go back through some pretty decent horses he's ridden for the likes of Mick Halford, Ger Lyons down the years, and great for him to get the big one on the board.
Yeah, Rishi, the second win at the Royal Meeting for him, who won the 2021 Royal Meeting with Quick Susie. Another one here.
Fabulous effort from this horse and rider, and let's start with what you made of the finish and whether you were aware when you hit the line that you were in front, Gary.
No, I thought it was beat, to be honest. I thought we'd all be staying stand side. Most fancy ones were there. They ended up further away from me. The last half furlong was a long half furlong for me. She was looking for company and starting to lean a bit, but she's very good filly.
She's something else because she's improved very quickly in a short space of time, and she also looks so willing. I mean, that's what you want from any horse.
She's a great attitude. Like, she's only really after coming in the last month. We were going to run her here in this race first time out, and then she won a barrier trial. She went. Limerick race presented itself, and it was an ideal starting point, and she was very green that day, so I'm glad we gave her the run.
I've got to say, Gary, it's some buzz just standing down here watching the racing. I mean, how much are you aware of all the noise when you were let out from the gates and the roar of the crowd at the finish?
Yeah, inside the 3-pole, there's energy pumps in it. It will do. It gets me going anyway.
Well, many congratulations. Well done to you all.
Thanks a million, Richie. Thank you.
Well, here he is, Gavin Cromwell, already a Royal Ascot hero. He's a champion hurdle hero. He's a Stayers hurdle winner. And, of course, now Royal Ascot again, Gavin. This horse seemingly has always shown you a bit favoured at Limerick when winning first time.
Yeah, and she won a barrier trial before that. Yeah, she's just she's been nice and with her go, and she's progressing, and I think she's going to improve as well.
A horse who will always be very quick, or will stay further than sort of 7 furlongs a mile in time.
Yeah, her dam I think won over a mile and a half, so I think she's certainly going to stay any further.
So will you be thinking you've got a proper classic contender on your hands here?
I haven't even thought about it, to be honest. But listen, we enjoyed today, and it's fantastic.
And Gavin, it's an extraordinary operation yours. Not many people manage to win the kind of Cheltenham races you do, plus Royal Ascot races. How do you do it?
I don't know. Look, we just trained them, and yeah, thankfully we're getting a few winners.
Yeah. Have horse will train.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations. Huge day for you and your owner, Lindsay. We really wish you all the best. Well done.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you.